This is a method of asexual propagation in which missing organs are allowed to regenerate or detach from the vegetative parts of the plant. And it is called A, marketing, B, budding, C, cottage, D, grafting. Okay? D, grafting. Ang tamang sagot, it's letter C, cottage. 'Di ba cottage, pag nagkaka tayo ng tanim, na-detach na siya sa tanim at yun yung ginagamit natin para mabuhay siya na another planting material. Pag marketing po kasi, budding, nandun pa siya sa kanyang parent material, so hindi siya dinidetach. Yung grafting, mayroon tayong dinetach from other plants, but we connect it with another one, okay? And it's not usually vegetative parts. Maybe the scion is in vegetative parts to connect with, but we selected the best planting material na kung sa tao pa na sa adulthood na siya. So, sakto na siya for propagation. The correct answer for this question is cottage. So, yung mga cuttings. Alright. Now, next question. It is a classification of farming systems based on type and intensity of rotation, water supply, cropping patterns, and animal activities and degree of commercialization. Is it A, cultivation, B, grassland, C, collection, D, fallow? Of course, so obvious na yung sagot. It's letter A, cultivation. So the rest are actually not a farming system, the rest of the option. Grassland, it's describing the land with grasses. Collection, it's a process of collecting. Okay. Fallow, it's farming, but it is more on the land preparation. So classification is the overall, it's cultivation. All right. Now the next question. It refers to the manner of utilizing land, including its allocation, development, and management. So medyo confusing yung options. Letter A, land use. Letter B, land use planning. Letter C, land use plan. D, land distribution. What could be the answer? Okay, so ang dami nagsabi na letter B, land use planning. Now, pag land use planning, it's just the plan. Okay? Hindi pa tayo nag-execute. Now, the question, it refers to the manner of utilizing the land and its management. The correct answer is letter A, land use. Actually, guys, nalilito din kami dito kasi nga parang nag-overthink na kami sa dami-dami ba namang questions or concepts na inaano. So, yan. It's letter A, land use. So, it's just the manner of taking everything. So, the rest of the options are just confusing us. So, land use lang po. For land distribution, it's the way how we plan on how to utilize the land or to distribute each. Where could this be, magkano yung allocation and how we could manage it. So it's the land distribution. Now, let's proceed. The next question is the main path of or the movement of the inorganic substance in plants is A, roots, B, xylem, C, phloem, D, leaves. It's letter B, xylem. Let's try to see. The answer is, it's letter C, phloem. Oh, xylem, sorry. It's letter B, xylem. When we say kasi inorganic substance, meaning nandun yung, oh, sorry guys, wrong lang po yung na-highlight, but the answer, it's letter C actually. Because when we say inorganic substance, it's actually the food of the plants. Okay? Now oh, wait. It actually contains the minerals of the plant, kaya siya tinatawag na inorganic. And our keyword here, like phloem, which we also use it sa yung pag-review, yung P is food or food, like food. Food. Xylem is for the water. Yes, kasi yung xylem ma'am is water. Yes po. Yung xylem po is water. So, narong lang po ako ng pag-highlight. Yung xylem po, present po siya sa roots, stem, and leaves, and the center po ng vascular bundle. And sinasabi po kasi sa tanong, is the main path of the inorganic substance. Usually po, nasa outer side siya ng plant. Doon po nakalocate yung phloem. So the correct answer po is letter C. C po. It's phloem. All right? Mali lang po ako ng na-animate. Now let's proceed to the next question. The passive movement of water occurs. Is it letter A, from a cell with high potential to cell with low potential? Is it letter B, only through a semi-permeable membrane? Letter D, through a cytoplasmic streaming. Letter D, letter C, letter D, from a cell with a low potential to cell with high potential. What do you think is the answer po? Yes. Remember, it's a water and it's passive. It's our keyword here. It's the passive movement of water. So the correct answer is, it's letter A, from a cell with high potential to cell with low potential. Kasi po yung water, pag, di ba, normally we have two glasses. Let's say po nilalagay natin siya sa, let's say po may dripping water. Ano po ba yung unang, di ba na unang napuno, yung may maraming water at saka lilipat siya sa small or with low water or low amount of water, which we call as low potential. Yan po yung movement ng water. Now, kung sa letter B po kasi, hindi po siya yung sagot since it passes only through a semi-permeable membrane. Yung semi-permeable membrane, it's like a sieve. Ito po yung salaan, what we call as salaan. So, yung nagagamit po ito kapag merong mga organic minerals na dadaan, kaya yung tubig lang po yung makakaraan. But it says it's only through a permeable membrane, makakaraan po yung tubig doon sa salaan. It's through a cytoplasmic streaming. Meron na dumadaan din po yung water doon, but it is more on from high potential to cell with low potential. So the correct answer is letter A. So it's from higher to low. Okay? So that's how passive movement water is. All right? Okay pa po ba ang lahat? Yes, it is also called osmosis. Next question. As autotroph, plants can actually what? A, can directly use carbon dioxide to synthesize its food. Is it letter B, act as host to nitrogen-fixing bacteria? Letter C, obtain nutrients from the soil. Or letter D, obtain nutrient from crop residue. So what's the answer? It's letter, okay, letter C. May nagsabing obtain nutrients from the soil. Let's try to see. It's letter A. It can directly use carbon dioxide to synthesize its food. Actually, yung meaning po ng auto or automatic or autotroph, it's actually these are the organisms that can make their own food. So, kaya niyang gumawa ng kanyang pagkain. So, kaya niyang ma-process directly yung carbon dioxide. Meron pong tinatawag din na heterotroph. So ito yung kinakailangan pa niya kumain ng other organism or para makakuha ng proteins and energy. Like us, tayo po yung heterotroph or animals. But for autotroph, ito po yung mga grasses natin. Tanim. Okay? So it's letter A. Now, next question. This is the growth in plant usually takes in growth points such as, is it letter A, flowers, B, stems, C, meristem, D, branch? Yes. Is it letter A, B, C? Okay, let's see. Ma'am, C po yung sagot kasi bago yung term. Hindi po siya normal. Let's see. Yes, it's correct. It's meristem. Meristem actually, it is located in the roots. So siya, dyan po yung nag-grow yung plants from the roots and then up. So, kailangan niya munang mag-dig deeper, mo strengthen yung roots para before siya ma-totally mag-emerge sa soil at yan, tutubo ng stems, branch, and flowers. Okay, so it's letter C. Next, now let's go back again, land preparation. Kung nakakita niyo yung flow ng discussion no, from my post-harvest, land preparation, kaya po siya crop production 1 and 2. So let's take a look at the next question. It's a system of land preparation involving plowing and harrowing under submerged condition. So yung clue natin is submerged condition. Is it letter A, lowland, B, upland, C, dryland, D, tillage? Okay? May nagsagot ng letter D, A, B? The correct answer is letter A, lowland. Okay. Now, let bakit po lowland? Yung keyword po, it's submerged condition. Yung lowland po, kadalasan ito yung sa rice, nag-irrigate po tayo, kaya siya lowland. Yung upland, ito po yung ginagamit natin sa, may nag-iwan pala akong mga notes ito. Yung sa upland po, it's yung mga elevated areas, like yung mga vegetables na tinatanim natin sa bundok. Yun yung tinatawag natin na upland. Kaya po minsan may mga project na upland vegetable production, yung lowland-based farming, ito yung kadalasan na na-irrigate natin. For dryland, it is, yes, patag po ba yung lowland? Yes po. As long as nasa submerged, meron naman po kasing nagtatanim ng upland plants or crops sa lowland. Kaya po, medyo general po yung patag po ba yung lowland? Kasi nakakatanim po tayo ng upland variety sa lowland. Yung lowland lang po is nasa submerged siya, meaning may water and submerged yung tinatamnan natin. Upland mostly contour farming. Yes po, upland, nag-a-apply po tayo ng contour farming. Contour farming is a technique. Pero yung upland po is sinasabi, is yung, usually po, wala po siyang tubig, like sa baul or yung sakahan po natin na wala pong tubig. Yun yung pong upland. Usually po, elevated areas. Okay? Now, for dry land, it's the semi-arid lands with limited water availability, like yung sa desert, na like may cactus, mga ganun po. Medyo dry, semi-arid, limited lang yung water. Okay? Tillage, it's a general term for cultivating land. Ito po yung nagsakata. It's a tillage or this land preparation. All right? Breaking down soil tillage. Okay. Next question. The lowland system of preparing the soil results in this physical change. So physical change. Is it letter A? The soil structure and granulation are maintained. B, macropores and micropores are maintained. Letter C, macropores are lost and only micropores prevail. Letter D, downward movement of water is normal and water drains easily. What do you think is the answer? Letter D po kasi mahaba. Kita. Minsan applicable po yun, pero minsan hindi. Now, let's take a look at with the question. Results in this physical change. Physical change meaning nakikita mo yung ibahan. When we say letter D, downward movement of water is normal. Nakikita niyo po ba yung water na nagdi-drain? Di ba po hindi? Now let's see. The answer is actually letter C. Kung nakikita niyo po sa choices, lahat ng A and B is nami-maintain. But we are talking here or asking here na ano yung na-change. So it's not the option. But also to give you some discussion about this, soil structure and granulation are maintained. Meaning, di ba po, pag nagla-land prep po tayo, nasisira natin yung structure ng land. Yung land, let's say, nasa horizon B, A, is napupunta na siya sa top. Meaning, nasisira natin. Tsaka, yung granulation daw, meaning yung compacted na soil, compacted, malalaki na soil, or like compacted, naiiba na po yun pag may lowland preparation na po tayo kasi nga binubungkal natin yung lupa. Now, macropores and micropores are maintained. Pag nabungkal natin yung lupa po, may mga minerals na po iyon na ating nabe-break, kaya po nag-evaporate or yung chemical bond nila is nabe-break na po, kaya hindi natin siya nami-maintain. Kaya minsan, pag nagbungkal tayo ng lupa, nagiging acidic yung soil. But may question din po tayo later on with that. Nag-a-acidic po yung soil kasi nga, yung mga, let's say, yung mga, na-oxidize kasi yung present of minerals in the soil. Let's say, for example, yung nitrogen, NO2. Ana. So, yung na-oxidize po kasi siya, instead na yung NO3 or NO2, is nami-maintain natin yung nutrients ng soil, nagiging nitrogen na lang siya kasi si oxygen is nag-evaporate. Kaya hindi natin siya nami-maintain. Okay? So, macropores are lost and only micropores prevail. Yun po yung nangyayari pag ginalaw natin yung lupa. Alright? Now, let's proceed. It's a system of land preparation where plowing and harrowing are done in dry or moist condition. In dry or moist. Is it letter A, lowland, B, upland, C, wetland, D, tillage? Medyo moist po siya. Moist. Yung keyword po. It's letter C. Yung lowland po, yung nag-answer ng letter A, lowland po, nasa submerged po yung lupa. So, more water po siya. Yung upland po, it's actually, hindi, kasi yung tanong is moist eh. So, medyo may tubig or low yung relative humidity niya na parang sakto lang. Kumbaga, may mga 80% na water. Yung upland kasi, it's either dry, totally dry, or totally wet. Wet po sa palay po ba? Lowland po yung sa palay. Okay? So ito yung mga sa wetland. Minsan po may wet kasi may upland palay naman po tayo na sakto lang yung moist niya. Yan po yung parang yeah, sakto lang. Kasi yung upland pwedeng totally dry, pwede ring may totally wet. Yung sakto lang is nasa wetland po. It's letter C. Now let's talk about hormones in plants. Since agriculture is not just about land preparation, processes, let's talk about hormones also. So this phytohormone is also referred to as ripening hormone. Is it letter A, IAA? Or it's also known as auxin hormone. It's letter B, gibberellin, C, or gibberellin. Letter C, cytokinin. Letter D, ethylene. Okay? Yes, letter D, it's actually ethylene. So, kaya po minsan, pag nag-harvest po, let's say, ng mangga, sa isang taro, taro ba na, oritsaka bukag, ana, sa Bisaya, lahat po ng unripe mango, nilalagay po yan sa isang lagayin, hinahaluan nila ng isang hinog. Tapos tinatakpan na walang air na makakapasok para pagbukas, pagkadating sa market, hinog na po siya lahat. So yan yung ginagamit. Minsan, ginagamit siya, tinatawag natin in Bisayan, kalburo. So nagagamit pa siya ng ethylene hormones. But ethylene hormones present in the ripened fruit na. Okay? Now for letter A, it's actually auxin. It's actually, we use that, it's a rooting hormone. So pinapaugat yung tanim. Now, nagamit ko to siya nung ano po scientific ng sasaging na lalagyan ng dahon ng Madrid di cacao para mahinog. Yes po, Madrid di cacao is actually inducing ethylene. Kasi nga, hindi po siya nahihinog pag hindi po siya nakakondisyon ng mainit na environment. Kung, kung na-try nyo po, yung bibili kayo ng, let's say, avocado or tomato, pag nilagay nyo yan sa plastic at hindi nyo nabuksan, let's say kinaumagahan at may nahalo po doon na hinog, nahihinog po yan lahat kinabukasan. Yung Madri cacao po kasi is medyo mainit siya at nag-induce nga po siya ng hormone. Kaya po, nahihinog. Okay? Kaya minsan, pag nag-display yung sa market, hindi nila yan nilalagay na nakatakip. Kaya minsan open po siya. Hindi siya tinatakpan or tinatabunan para hindi siya madaling masira at ma-prolong yung shelf life niya. Yan po yung hormone na responsible sa pag-ripe ng fruits. For these two options, this will be tackled later on in the next question na lang po. So let's continue for now. Okay. Ayan, may nilagay din po pala akong mga notes. Nakita na tuloy kita. So, yes, gibberellin, we use that in the seed germination to influence flowering. Okay, might as well, I'll discuss na lang po. So, gibberellin, ito yung ginagamit natin sa mga mangga. 'Di ba? Dati kasi, yung mangga, hindi siya accessible whole year round. Meaning, hindi natin siya nakikitang nagbubunga or walang mangga nung January, walang mangga nung bare months. Kasi normally, yung mangga is namumunga kapag May, June. Pero dahil sa gibberellin na yan, ginagamit siya to dun sa spray dun sa inter, spray dun sa tanim, kaya namumunga siya in any month kung kailan mo gusto. Kaya meron tayong mangga all year round. Okay? Now for cytokinin, it's seed priming and yield improvement by enhancing stress tolerance. So ito yung ginagamit para yung seeds hindi siya madaling masira. Kaya minsan, kung nakikita nyo, minsan yung seeds is iba yung kulay. Kasi para hindi siya, meron din kasing iba, hindi siya hormone yung ginamit, guys, baka malito kayo. Kasi minsan may kulay yung seeds para hindi siya madaling maano ng pest or langgam. So it's actually against pests and diseases. For cytokinin, meron po siyang ini-enhance para hindi po siya madaling masira against like ito, moist condition, ayan, hindi mag-losure. Okay? So ayan po yung mga different hormones. Ano po hinahalo dyan sa gibberellin? Meron po siyang, depende po kasi sa brand. Pero gibberellin po, mostly, hinalo lang siya sa tubig, ini-spray. But as to sa details po, hindi ko pa po siya ma-identify since iba-iba po yun per bottle. Makikita po yan sa, yun sa, ano, kung sa food pan nutrition facts, ayan po.